yeah, I think it'll be difficult to get someone to pay money up front, but
I'm talking to a lot of brands right now, and we haven't discussed anything like this, but what I will say is we have a brand that wants to sponsor the Joe Girard podcast, but it's a local Syracuse brand, and they're hoping to get exposure throughout Syracuse. So like Mobot, like how much exposure are they getting through like your community, and what is it really? Probably not much, but what about like a local Moravian restaurant, a local Moravian something where we talked about this before, where you actually incorporate like something in the vlog that's like going to that restaurant, that's going to that store, and it like that part of the vlog is sponsored.
Right. So I haven't really approached any restaurants yet, but I probably should do that. Good idea.
You should, and not even a restaurant. Like they're just local things, like activities. Like for us, we have like this Apex is like pretty much a local Dave and Buster's. It's got an arcade, bowling, axe throwing. Like there's no better way to get customers than marketing through college students.
Right.
Restaurants they can do without college kids, but like there's some experiential places that like their whole target market is college students. Like those are the people to target.
All right. Sounds good. Yeah. So for listeners out there, I'm pretty much just, this not like even a podcast. I'm just hopping on with some like-minded people and having a conversation. There's really no script, nothing like that. So Jack, I guess you can give a little intro on yourself, just for the people who don't know you.
Yeah, for sure. So my name is Jack Adler. I'm a senior at Syracuse University. I'm the co-founder of Out2Win Sports. It is a media and marketing agency for college athletes, helping athletes and brands capitalize on the name, image, and likeness space. Pretty much we focus on facilitating these brand partnerships and creating the content behind it. Did some cool work with Danny over the summer and now trying to help him just ideate in terms of how to monetize his podcast, get some brands involved. And yeah, honestly, just I love this shit. So I just do it for fun most of the time, but
yeah,
trying to build a business around it too.
Yeah, and I love how you guys, your Instagram bio, I think you changed it. I love how it's reinventing athlete marketing. And I think we've had this conversation before, and I still see it every day on Instagram where athletes are posting, excited to announce I've signed an NIL deal with so-and-so company, but it's literally just a picture of them with the thing. And yeah, and it gets barely any engagement. And I think your approach with Out2Win has been very unique because, like you said, you guys are creating unique content that the viewer is actually going to want to see. And I think, I think it's been very effective so far. So kind of talk to me about that. Like, how did that idea come about? Did you just kept seeing it over and over again, or kind of talk about how you came up with that?
The funny thing is, like, we're literally a part of me and you both, and like we're part of the target market that a lot of these deals and partnerships and advertisements are trying to reach. So like at the very beginning of the whole industry, when like college athletes could first be used as a marketing tool, you saw some really good athletes with really engaged audiences scrolling right by whatever they were posting because it wasn't actually grabbing anyone's attention. It was just a picture of them holding a thumbs up with a product in their hand.
Right.
And if brands and even the athlete actually want to capitalize on these opportunities for the brand side to actually get like an ROI, whether that's through brand awareness or sales, but for the athlete to get an ROI in terms of building up your personal brand, deepening your relationship with your audience, there's a lot more that needs to go into these partnerships. Like Michael Jones is a linebacker here at Syracuse. He's the captain. He's been named ACC linebacker of the week 3 weeks in a row now. He's balling out. But last year we were working with him and he had 15,000 followers on Instagram. Like he's a well-known guy around here, but if you scroll through his Instagram, you don't even know what his voice sounds like because he's never posted a video of himself. All he has is football pictures and like, yeah, that's cool and all, but like get to know the guy. If you want to actually build a relationship with your fans and with your audience, like you need to post engaging content. And I think you've done a really good job of that, Danny, by like showing people who you are authentically.
Appreciate that. Yeah. So on that note, has there been any resistance with any of these high level players? Like, are some of them nervous to be creating content authentically, kind of like I do, or what's that been like? Kind of explain to them, like, if you want to capitalize on this, you're going to have to put yourself out there. And now they have to do an additional thing, like in addition to to football, content's like a full-time job as well. So how does that work?
Well, the cool thing is we've done it through we've broken the stigma through bringing a lot of them into it. Like every time we've created content with like a football player, it's been with a bunch of them in the room at the same time. So they're all posting it. Like they're breaking the stigma together because now the guys are in the locker room seeing that they're all posting this shit. You can't all team up on one of them when it's like two of the biggest players on the team, the most popular players on the team are posting this content with us. So from that, it's like we're getting DMs from other guys on the team, like, "Yo, when can I come get a video with you guys?"
So now it's almost weird if you don't create content. That's like
exactly. So next week it's the Syracuse football's bye week, and we're going to create content with the entire team. They're 5-0. They're like getting national attention right now. This is the time. Like timeliness is also a huge thing in this space. Like when you're getting national attention, like this is your time to go out and show who you are so that you can get some opportunities with brands.
For sure.
Because the brands want to work with the people that have attention on them. And you don't always have attention on you when you're playing at Syracuse. But right now you do.
Yeah. So can you expand on that? Like what, if you can share any of it, like what's your plan to capitalize this attention kind of during that bye week?
Yeah. So the shot clock that we've done with you and we've done with a few other athletes, we're going to do that with the rest of the team. So we're going to get 24 seconds of each athlete showing who they are, giving their personality, like telling things about themselves. We got a team-wide deal with Crocs. Danny, I think you were part of that as well. Like we got Crocs. We sourced some Crocs to a bunch of athletes.
Got them right here, baby.
Let's go. So we're going to creating content with them with the Crocs, all the guys that received. We had a deal with Rory with 10 of them. So we're going to getting videos of that. And then we have a lot of other stuff on the plate that we're bringing like 5 to 6 cameras, different guys and girls to come help record. And we're just going to go crazy. Like just get as much content as we can. Cause these guys, it's football season. Like it's intense. There's no time off. So like, this is their bye week. This is the most time we'll have all season. We're just throwing it all into one big content day.
That's awesome. So yeah, I mean, it sounds like a lot of good stuff's happening, but I kind of want to touch on something me and you both talk about, like what has been some of the hardest struggles over the last maybe 1 or 2 months since we've kind of seen each other? Is there any new setbacks or days where you were like, I don't know if we can do this? Kind of elaborate on that.
It's work-life balance. It's work-life party balance. Like I'm a college kid too. Like I'm trying to find time to just enjoy myself. It's my senior year of college and my friends are all just kicked back, relaxing every day. And it's definitely like annoying at times that like I can't be doing the same. I mean, we now have 27 employees. So like I am like I'm like
paid employees, or it's kind of like, or you can't really
paid on commission rates. So when they are able to bring in deals, they bring in a commission, they rake in a commission of that. 6 of them are at colleges around the country, Southern California, Oklahoma, and Michigan. And I don't really have much time off anymore. It's like, if I'm not managing these guys, I'm managing them. And if I'm not managing them, I have my own to-do list to take care of as well. So it's like, and then I have 5 classes in between all that. So like everything going on has been a little overwhelming, and I'm trying my best to like really like schedule in me time. Like not just like say, oh, like I should take some time for myself. Like I'm putting a block in my schedule, like chill, like just chill out. So like at like 1 or 2 p.m. every day, I just like go back to my apartment and just like chill and just hang out, because I usually go to like 8 or 9 p.m. at night, and just need to like go to sleep after that and wake up around like 7:38. So I need to like make sure I allocate time for myself to find balance and make sure I'm not just driving myself a little crazy.
Yeah, I definitely kind of feel the same way sometimes, because now that we're in our preseason, like we have workouts every morning, then I shoot once or twice in the day, then I have night class a couple nights a week, then I'm doing content. So it's like definitely very important to kind of let yourself chill a little bit. But talk me through one of your days. How does it? Jack Adler wakes up, he kicks the sheets. Shout out my boy Brad, blowing up right now. But when you kick the sheets until the time you hit the sheets, what does your day look like?
I like that. Kick the sheets till you hit the sheets. I mean, I'll walk you through today. My calendar is always pretty jam-packed. Like it's usually like back to back to back
Yeah, I was
things. Like
surprised. I was surprised I fit you in. You're like Jack Vaynerchuk now. You're very busy.
yeah, no, I fit this in between two other things, so I do have to run it in 10 minutes. But
You're good.
this morning we had a meeting with one of our advisors at 9 a.m. To just go over our pitch for this Friday, which I mentioned to you, Danny, off this, that we have a big pitch competition this Friday where we're competing in Orange Tank. It's like the Shark Tank of Syracuse, where they're $42,000 given out in prizes. So we went right from that meeting with the advisor into just an hour practice session between my co-founder Sam and I, where we were just going over our script, putting together the slides, finalizing it all. And then after that, I had lunch with a brand called Rescue Mission. It's a local homeless shelter. So they're giving back to the homeless, looking to work with athletes in the Syracuse area. We're pretty much building them out a Mount Rushmore program where we're getting them the top women athletes at Syracuse to become ambassadors of their shelter, to put out monthly content, just shouting out what they're doing, talking about their mission. And then I went right from there into class, sociology of sports. We were talking about Aaron Judge's home run battle and like how the guys in the past won it off steroids, and like sociology, like we were just talking about like if there's deviance or not in like the acts of taking steroids in baseball, which is obviously pretty deviant. And then I went into a conversation with a video marketplace. So pretty much they source videographers around the country, and we're forming a partnership with them where as we keep expanding to other schools, they're going to be helping us find those video creators at each school that can create the content for the athletes. Okay. And then I had a call with Priority Sports, which is an agency that represents Sean Tucker here at Syracuse, who's our like 5-star running back, who's probably hopefully going to go in the top 3 rounds of the NFL draft, something like that this coming year. We were talking about opportunities to get him involved with everything we're doing on the content side. And now I'm here. So
sweet.
We got a few more things after this. We have class till 9 p.m.
Wow.
Which sucks.
Yeah.
6:30 to 9 p.m. I'm not excited for that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of just practicing the pitch this week. Like I'm just going through my lines, making sure I got it all down, because this is big for us. Like we could really, really use this money right off the bat. So we're hoping that we can come away with the grand prize.
Yeah. So what would you do with that money if you win?
We would take it and go continue expanding to other campuses. So with each campus that we expand to, we have to register each student as a agent in that state. So each state has a different like monetary amount you have to pay for the application. Some are $100, some are $1,000. So a lot of the money we would put towards that. A lot of the money we would put towards upping our production equipment internally. And then a lot of it we would also put towards travel, because as we're building out these programs, we want to be able to go out there and kind of just put the team together in person and be able to like interact with the team in person, create content in person, and continue building out sort of just the media side of our company as well, which is just documenting everything we're doing through content.
Yeah, it sounds great. I won't keep you too long. A couple more things I'm kind of interested in. So number one, is there anyone else kind of doing what you guys are doing? Because it's very interesting. We had our compliance meeting with our athletic directors, and the NIL section was like a couple bullet points and was not very in depth. And I know we're a Division III school, so not many of us are going to be getting deals, but she honestly didn't seem to have any idea about it. She kind of just said, it's on you guys. All you have to do is send us an email a week before the deal and blah, blah, blah. So is there anyone else who's doing it? And also, like, is it Out2Win's vision to become the leader in NIL, or do you also have, or do you have plans of expanding to like the NFL, say once your guys from Syracuse make the NFL? Like, talk about that a little bit.
No, I mean, first off, our vision is to become the leader at the intersection of NIL. And what I mean by that is we're not trying to take over anyone's job here. We're trying to provide value to all parties. because we've collaborated with agencies, we've collaborated with marketplaces, collectives, at brands, like every single side of NIL, we're able to provide value to in different ways. So we haven't counted ourselves out as a competitor to any of these. We just consider ourselves a collaborator. Okay. And our goal is to just continue building out this kind of like, I guess, army of foot soldiers at each campus. Because what that does is, like, being a student here at Syracuse, we're able to help Vayner Sports, who represents Garrett Williams, a football player. Vayner is not flying out to Syracuse, New York to film content with Garrett. So they source that content to us. We build that relationship with them. Yeah, we're doing that with Garrett here at Syracuse. Well, they also have the quarterback at Oklahoma. So now we just started at Oklahoma. So that guy becomes someone we work with there. So as we keep expanding to all these other schools, our relationships will continue expanding with Vayner Sports, but also with some of these marketplaces like Open Doors, which you may be familiar with, Danny. They source, they match make athletes and brands similar to Mogul, Market Price, Icon Source, Postgame, a few of these platforms that source these deals. They're in the same case scenario. They facilitate the relationship between the athlete and brand. Then the athlete's expected to go create the content themselves. We have a foot soldier team of production that can go create the content on all these campuses. So we can go help these marketplaces, these agencies, even these collectives, because we have our feet on the ground right now at 4 campuses, but the goal to have it at hundreds of campuses around the country in short time.
It's very smart. So it's almost like a consulting agency in a way, because you're kind of helping people from all different angles. You're helping the NFL agencies, you're helping the athletes.
Yeah, I mean, that side of it is really like a production agency kind of. But we're building more than that. Like, that's really like definitely a side of it, but we're building more of that because we're also trying to create, we're trying to help the athletes on the side of it all too. Like, we're trying to help them build brands even like without an agent involved. So like we're building out shows for athletes. We're building out podcasts, documentaries. We're creating content that's not just involving brand partnerships. Okay. And we're really trying to, I guess, like the best, like what we're calling ourselves is a media and marketing agency. But the only way to possibly put it is we're the NIL Accelerator. We're just accelerating the entire landscape. Like, that's our goal. We just want to make this whole thing move faster and better. Yeah. And there's not really a way to do that other than having like young creative minds on each campus being involved.
All right. I'll ask you kind of one more thing. So one thing I've struggled with in my business over the last couple of years is scaling, because no one's ever going to love it as much as you. No one's ever going to care as much as you, no matter how much you think they will. So when you're hiring these foot soldiers, like you put it, what's your vetting process, and how are you almost, being patient with them, and like, they're not going to love it as much as Jack and Sam. So talk me through that a little bit. You got like a couple minutes.
It's funny. Obviously they're not going to love it, but they're also not going to know it as well. So like, how it's the biggest, not even like struggle, because I think we've done it well. We have an entire process that we've walked them through, but the biggest struggle at first is like getting them to know the company as well as you when you've been working on it for over a year and it's your baby. Like, it's not possible. You can't expect people to know it as well as you, but you can provide them with as much resource and mentorship as possible. And that's what we've done. That's what I spent a month doing. And then I realized I couldn't just keep doing it because it was too much for me while I had everything else going on. So I actually brought someone in within the company onto that side to become like the point of contact, where he is their almost like, I don't even know what to call it, like their assistant in a way. Right. Their leader, where like they come to him 8 times a day with questions, decisions, things, and he just works with them through it. Like, he's like their personal leader. That's what I'll call it. So that's made my life a lot easier. He's been huge. But the honest answer is like, it takes so much effort, and there are definitely ways to automate the process, but if you automate it, it won't be done as well. So we have just been putting in a lot of time and effort. And the more that we show we care to these guys and these girls that we're bringing in, the more that they're going to care back. And I've put so much like conscious energy into like instilling my passion into all of them, and just showing them like how much I care, how far we've come and how far we can go. And I think that by showing that vision, it gets people to buy in, and it gets people to give their all. And I mean, the more that you can do that, the more results you'll see it. And I'm still working on it day by day. Like I send a text every Monday, like, let's have a fucking week. I send a text every Friday, like, all right, give me updates. Like, let's hear what's going on. Yeah. And like, I'm just trying to make sure that they all know I'm here and I'm like staying aware of everything that's going on.
Yeah. And I think that's great. I read a book, 0 to 1 by Peter Thiel. And one thing he talks about is like hiring your first 100 employees. And I think it's cool how you're kind of really taking the time to do that. Cause I think those first 100, if you wanted to scale that big with 100 employees, but those first 100 can kind of make or break if the business is successful long-term. So
without a doubt, like if we're going to keep scaling to other campuses, these 3 are going to be the ones that set the tone at the new ones that come in. Right. So like, these are the most important 6 people that we brought in, and we know that. And like, I remind them of that too. Like, we brought these 3 groups of students in, not because like they were the first ones we found, but because we trusted them the most, and they better not let me down. Like they have big shoes to fill. So the hope is that we can keep building with these guys for the next month or so. And then kind of take everything that we've learned, adjust and grow into like a program that we can go source out to as many campuses. But that's going to take some funding, which hopefully will take a step in the right direction this weekend. And it'll definitely take some extra just resources and time and effort. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, sounds good. I think that's pretty much all. It was good to just wanted to catch up. Kind of, I'm always following what you're doing. So just wanted to kind of hear what's been going on. And it sounds like great stuff. So.
Yeah, no, that was great. It was great to catch up with you too. I'm glad I got to get some of that spew out because now I can go finish writing this pitch deck, and I got kind of some of it on my mind now.
Yes, sir. It's all practice. It's all just reps.
It is. Good. No, it's practice, but it's also like an understanding, just a genuine understanding of it where I can say it with my brain off. Like that's where I've gotten to in sales pitches. Now I got to get to it in like the overall pitch to an investor.
Yeah, no, that's big stuff. I've never done that. So
yeah,
it's pretty
fun.
Cool.
It's fun being able to talk about everything you've built and have people be like, damn, okay. Like it's a cool feeling.